Jack, how you doing, man? Thank you for coming on Late Night on Base. How's your day going?
Dude, it's awesome. It's great. And it's even better now that I'm here talking to you. I'm excited. I don't get to do a lot of podcasts. I don't get to be a guest very often. I've hosted quite a few, but it's fun to be asked and I appreciate you having me on.
No, thanks for taking the time. I know you're a busy man, and I know the feeling, right? It's like sometimes when I'm answering questions from people and they're asking me, it's like refreshing. It's different because I'm normally the one
Yeah.
asking. So I know with you, and we'll touch on, your content creation and stuff. And that's actually how I linked up because I saw one of your videos and you produce some amazing things. But for those that may not be too well versed about who Jack is, maybe they're listening to this on Spotify for the first time, coming across this episode. If you don't mind, why don't you go in and give a brief outline as to who Jack is?
Sure. Yeah. So my name's Jack Wyldes. My actual name is Seth. But that's just been my online moniker for a long time. I kind of came into crypto and this space through collecting. So I actually got into the space I was a content creator beforehand. And I heard about this thing called NBA Top Shot, and I started doing like a live show with some friends who were really into basketball, but they didn't really know much about collecting. And I was collecting sports cards and collecting Magic the Gathering, all this stuff, and had worked in that space for a while. And so we started doing a show and instantly got picked up by a place called Collective. At the time it was called Moment Ranks, and we started producing stuff for them. And then it just kept transitioning to the next thing and the next thing, and so I ended up finding myself in nouns because it was just the I don't know how the progression happened. It's such a weird thing from going to like I like collecting sports cards to like now I'm fully Web3 pilled and noun pilled.
Yeah.
And then I started working for another company called Shredding Sassy, and then we created Shaka. So then I became not just a content creator, but we've kind of have gone into the actual builder zone. But it all started from me just like wanting to talk about collecting things and about new tech with NBA Top Shot. And 2, 3 years later now, here we are.
Amazing. I think I missed the whole Top Shot thing back a couple years ago, but I used to collect cards and I definitely missed the train. I know a lot of money was to be made and it was a good time. Talk to me about Shaka too. I want to kind of dive deep into this project. I know you're very passionate about it. Yeah, again, for anyone who doesn't know anything about Shaka, give us the lowdown.
So Shaka is just kind of the universal symbol for love and happiness. It's actually got an incredible history that we want to amplify. The Shaka is a symbol that's been around for a really long time. It's globally accepted, but it kind of originated in Hawaii. But we used it because the people I work with and are from Portugal or they live in Portugal, and we kind of shredding sassy is a very outdoor, um, kind of extreme sports, but more just like gnarly stuff. It's all about you know mountain biking and snowboarding and surfing and skating. And so we noticed that there was this pattern happening with these meme coins where a lot of them were negative, very negative things were coming out, right? People were rage baiting and doing kind of these hate things. And they especially on Solana, not throwing out any, what I'm not a if you like Solana, you like Solana, but there are good things and bad things about every chain pretty much. So we were talking about how man, we should do something to counteract this. And Shaka, sharing the Shaka was born. So the symbol is just the shredding sassy hand throwing the Shaka. And the idea was we decided to partner up with this company, Link Drop, who actually, later on Coinbase did as well, or Base did. We partnered up so we were able to wrap Shaka and you could send it to onboard your friends. If you sent it to a friend, you could send it through any type of link. It would automatically download a Coinbase wallet for them. They could set it up in minutes, like literally minutes, and we could onboard somebody to Base. And we decided to be on Base because Base just seemed like the place to be at the moment. And I still think it is. I'm enjoying the Base chain experience more than I've ever enjoyed crypto and since I've been in it. And Base felt like a new positive vibe. And we wanted to stay away. Again, we were trying to counteract some of the hate that was being spread and instead spread a good vibe. So our goal is to get into 1 million wallets. We are at 100,000. We started by we had like no money to really like fund a liquidity pool. So we sold a couple of just Shaka NFTs on Zora. We used that money to fund the liquidity pool. We airdropped it to all the Shredding Sassy holders and like 16 other communities, the Yellow Collective being one of them on base. And we use that as an opportunity to bring some people who are like on Polygon or stuck on ETH mainnet to like actually give them a reason to come over. Like we wanted to go Shaka to be in their wallet enough of a dollar amount that they could, they would be like, okay, it's worth going to check out base. We just really wanted to push people to base. We really believe in the positive vibes of base, and we just think it fits with what we represent. So that's kind of the goal. We're now in over 100,000 wallets, which is really cool. I think it's really good. Our first day, I don't even know how this happened. Our first day, we went from, a nothing market cap to like 16 million in 24 hours. And of course, we've gone down. I mean, we're down now, but the message is still there and the goal is still there. We want to get into 1 million wallets and we want to onboard everybody to base. You may have heard the slogan onboard your mom. That was
Mm.
actually from a video I made that kind of took off. And what's funny is Coinbase now uses the same link drop system to share now that you can share with their smart wallet. So we were a little bit ahead of that curve, and that's why they really like us.
That's awesome, and I think it's good that, you focus on a project that's spreading positivity. I do remember earlier this year with Solana, I know exactly what you're talking about. There was a
Yeah,
time when there was just hateful memes coming up
yeah,
because on Solana, for those that aren't aware, it's extremely easy to launch something. You can
mhm,
launch something on something called Pump Fun. You don't have to even put up any money, and so people were just taking advantage of that and just spreading the most nasty, viral, like terrible things, which we won't talk about. But crypto doesn't need that. Crypto needs more
no,
positivity and uplifting, and I love the fact that, you guys focused in on that, and I also do agree, I think Base was a wise decision to kind of join. I've never been a part of a community, ecosystem like Base ever. I feel, me personally, the camaraderie amongst other projects, other founders, it's truly everyone's trying to help each other, and it starts, from the top down. Jesse is
it's
clearly
incredible.
leading the way. Amazing. And I think it's just infectious. And I think, for a positive meme like Shaka is trying to do, its natural fit is base. Tell me about, maybe some of the challenges. I mean, first of all, that's incredibly impressive that you guys reached such a market cap in such a short time.
Yeah,
Obviously, the ups and downs with any project, but if you can kind of shed light, it'd be interesting. What have been some of the difficulties that you guys have faced with Shaka that you may have not foreseen, being a part of a project?
I think I did okay. I actually, you know what? The huge pump right at the beginning. That was not something I expected. I expected a slow growth, grassroots, like we were going to just keep pushing and keep trying to grow. I didn't expect the craziness in the first 24 hours. I mean, I didn't sleep for the first 24 hours. We were up trying to ride the wave and play the content, and I don't mean ride the wave as like we're selling, no, our LP is locked. I've not sold, nobody like the team, we haven't done anything like that. We were just like, we wanted to get it out there. And so we were trying to ride that, you know, hype wave and
The
try to
momentum, yeah.
yeah, to use that to spread to more people to get the message out there. The problem is that I feel like when you have a big giant spike like that, especially right off the bat, any retrace and people get kind of down. And I think at the beginning it started to pull away from the message. Everybody was talking about how incredible it was that we went from 0 to I mean we were trending in the top 3 in, within 5 hours of launching. And it was basically a silent launch. It wasn't like we didn't have a bunch of marketing before. We had like 500 or 700 followers on Twitter. It was not crazy. But it just happened out of nowhere because we were making pretty good videos and we were trying to I think our message was really good. I think our and we're original. It was not just a something with hat. It wasn't just it was new. And I think the big issue right now is something I actually talked to Jesse about in a video. It's more than just the team. The team is working hard, but once you drop a coin or once you drop a project, an NFT, whatever, you really need the community to take ownership a little bit as well and push it themselves the same way that you do. And that's not to take the shift the blame or not blame, but shift the work from the team. The team also has to be working. They have to be there for you. They have to be, trying to better the project. But you I really don't like the devs do something attitude. I like the let's work as a community thing. And I think on base, that's understood a lot more than a lot of other chains. But at the same time, there's still quite a few people that, we want them to share. That was the whole point. It was share the Shaka. We even had a leaderboard of how many people we were sharing with. And we were struggling at first to get people to actually do that.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I think there's a few things that I digest there. You hit the nail on the head. You know, a team, the development team, the core team can't just be doing it all. You need to have the support of the community to want to treat it as its own
Yep.
as a supplement. Doesn't take away from the team doing the responsibilities, being the brand vocal leaders, but you have to have people who are going to be, the supporters through thick and thin. And I think if you look at a lot of CTOs in the space, big reason why they do pretty well, and this, for those that don't know what a CTO is just a community takeover. If like the lead dev rugs or whatever, and a community comes through, a lot of them do pretty well. And the reason why is because they take ownership. The community is taking ownership of the project and trying to make it as their own. And so now
Mhm.
you have it's a multiplier effect. You have now people who aren't relying on one or two people. You have a community. It's like, hey, let's do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. So in a project like yours, it's beautiful because it's not a CTO. It's the devs are still there. You guys are still there, but having the community support as well through the ups and downs, not just with price go up, everyone loves it. Price go
Yeah.
down, you're gonna have rotators. But time is the biggest marketing thing, right? So the fact that you guys launched, what month did you guys launch?
April 5th is when
Yeah,
we
so the
launched.
fact that it's been April 5th, so what, over 2 months? April, May,
Mhm.
no, 3?
Yeah.
All of April, May, yeah, and you guys are still around, you know now who your true followers are, the core community, and these are the
It's true.
people who are gonna be with you thick and thin.
And I do wanna say this for all the Shocketeers out there, all the people listening. This was not a blanket statement to everyone because we have some people who are absolutely incredible. I mean, we have a core group of very, very awesome community members, and from Shredding Sassy to Shaka, new ones from Shaka, and then old ones who have been around since Shredding Sassy started years ago. We have really incredible community. It was just the snowball effect of getting
Yeah,
the new people to understand the vibe. And of course we
absolutely.
did some of them, but not all of them, you know?
Yeah,
And
and I know for a fact that the community that you have right now is the OG, the loyal, like
mhm,
your ride or dies. And I know you're not referencing anyone now, but I know in the beginning stages to get to the 16 million, then seeing people probably leave, and kind of like when dev, when marketing, it's just like the most ridiculous statement because it's like, no, we are all the devs. We are all trying to make Shaka the number one meme coin on base.
exactly.
But yeah, so now that you've shaken out all the weak hands per se, you have a true following, and that's amazing. And I think, I like to have people like you on the podcast, and especially as community members, I think they'll really appreciate, you coming up, talking, someone from the core team. It builds trust and transparency, and people can tell how passionate you are about it. And that's just going to spread to more confidence. And I feel confidence is incredibly important when investing in something. So, let me ask you this.
Mhm.
So, with base overall, you're on base, you're aiming to be one of the top memes on base. Where do you see base in the next 3 months? What are your thoughts on the ecosystem as a whole?
Oh, wow. Um Right now, there's no looking past it for me, and I know that might be very short-sighted in the crypto world. I think everybody's always looking to be the first of the next big thing. I've I feel like Base is such a great place to start for so many people. It is such a user-friendly spot. Like, I remember struggling at the beginning whenever I was getting on Ethereum mainnet, and there were yeah, I had so many questions. But when I'm introducing friends and family to Base, I feel like it's something that they can, especially with Smart Wallet now, especially like all these things, the low fees, the fast transactions. Yes, I get it's a little bit more centralized, but there's something about it that we need an on ramp like base. We need this type of thing to really bring the world on chain, in my opinion. I love base, and where I see it in the next 3 months, oh, bigger. I mean, I think bigger. I think there are going to be people always looking for that next thing, but I feel like we haven't even introduced. There's so many new things happening on base. We haven't even introduced so many people in the world to why base is awesome. They might have had a bad experience with crypto on a different chain or, even just on L1. I think this can change a lot of minds. And so in 3 months, I'm hoping it becomes a more common thing for the average person to be like, oh, base. Yeah, I know. But, that's what I'm seeing base in 3 months. If
Yeah,
that,
and I think
did that work?
yeah,
I
I
don't know if that was a good, good
yeah,
answer, but
yeah, no, it was a good answer, and I think we all can agree that we don't know exactly where it's gonna be, but we know it's gonna become stronger and more resilient, and they're gonna keep pushing to make it the number 1, layer 2 in the space, and I personally have 0 doubts that maybe not in 3 months, but it will be a commonplace, and retail will flock to this chain. It's just too
right.
good, too many resources.
It's
It
good.
reminds me a lot of BSC 2021, but just a more sophisticated version. BSC, for those that don't know, was a smart chain, based on Binance, and it blew up in 2021. I think as the bull market continues, and I truly believe we are in a bull market, I think 2024, the remainder, second half is going to be huge. I think when gas fees on Ethereum continue to rise, people are going to look at solutions like Base and just be flabbergasted at how cheap it is, how fast it is, and just how community driven it is. And I
Mhm.
think because you have Coinbase, which is the leading, institution on ramp in the US by far, it's a publicly traded company. You're gonna have your grandmas, your grandpas, those noobs, the retail want to only mess with base. And I think they're positioning themselves. And I think people like me, people like you are working hard to do our part to, reach the masses. So I think we're in a unique position in time.
Mhm.
Um, what do you guys have planned? Anything? I know not there's no roadmap per se, but do you guys have any like plans for meetups or like anything on the agenda that you are looking forward to?
Yeah, so a cool thing about Shaka is we've already done multiple events like IRL. So the entire team is doxxed. We've been very out in the open about who we are, what we do. There's no hiding behind anything for us. That's where some of the frustration was coming from that I feel like we've done a lot of things as a team and pushed like the early frustration that we've been pushing a lot of especially IRL stuff and the whole idea of onboarding more people. And you just always get asked, well, what now? Which that's just the plan. The plan is to continue doing that. So in Portugal, actually, for on-chain summer, we threw an on-chain summer activation event. Over 130 skaters showed up. I put a video out about it right now. Bob Burnquist retweeted the video. Was super into the idea. He's worked with our team multiple times. The idea was basically to have skate competitions and have at local skate parks. We're going to make an MVP so other people can actually do this in their local area. And you hand out Shaka. You onboard people by awarding prizes, monetary prizes, but it's in Shaka. So they're getting put on base right then. Everything is about bringing more people on and showing them how easy it is with somebody there to also help them, walk them through it a little bit. Everything can be done from a QR code. So basically, if somebody wins something, you're just here's $50 and you scan it on your phone. You don't have a wallet, there's your wallet right there. We sponsor all the ETH and the gas fees, the very minimal gas fees there are to make sure that they're able to get it without any troubles. And then we educate while just having fun. So our goal right now, that Portugal event did really, really well. We're really stoked about it, and I definitely suggest checking out the video if for those of you who haven't seen it. But I think the future is having community-driven events sponsored by Shaka but put on by those of us in different so we can be global, so we can be everywhere. And it takes the real people in the community. So maybe we will be the niche, skateboard or surf or that part, but everybody needs to find their way in. I found my way in through trading cards, and I'm finding my home in nouns and the extreme sport community, which are two things that I love. I love that type of thing. So I think it's just a great way. We're trying to find our niche and who we're onboarding, but we're going to keep onboarding everyone we can. And so that's kind of what we have coming up. We're actually working on the MVP packages right now. That way we can send it out to community members and say, here's how you run it. If you want to run it, come to us and we'll help.
When Shaka event in LA, if you do one,
Actually, soon.
bro, I have to
Yeah,
get an invite. I need to come. I'm here.
August. I might be trying to go to that one as well.
Uh,
So
we're linking up.
you're in LA?
I am in LA.
Okay, yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go. I really think that there people just don't understand how much we are putting into, like, really being a real connection to the world. Not just we're just on Farcaster, we're just on Twitter or X, sorry. We're really trying to have a strong link in communities around the world, and to me, that's important. That's how you grow.
The IRL events are critically important,
Mhm.
without a doubt, and I feel out of all the ecosystems I've been a part of, projects on base really resonate with that, the in
Yeah,
real life events, because I also think, and I think, and kudos to you guys for being, doxed and putting yourselves out there. It's not easy, and a lot of developers, a lot of people want nothing to do with it, not showing your face. But you're like, screw it. We are who we are, and we have nothing to hide. I love that as someone who's also doxed. I love that. And I think in real life events is like the perfect segue of actually creating more and fostering more of a culture and a community, because there's nothing better than bonding with people who share the same values,
exactly.
same interests. So keep pushing, man. All around the world, I think that's a huge need, and I think those are going to be really big success wherever you do it.
Yeah, I
So
I would love for you to come out to our LA event whenever we get it. Whenever everything's finalized, I'll make sure you have all the info,
hit me
and,
up, man.
you should go out and we would yeah, love coverage or whatever you want, or just come
Absolutely.
hang out and,
I
that
would
would be awesome.
love it. Consider it done. Just let me know. And, I would love to chat with the community and just kind of get to know them better. Looking forward to that. So, Jack, before, I like to keep these around 20, 25 minutes just so, people will have the ability to digest everything. I mean, I
Mhm.
easily could chat with you for a longer time, but is there anything else, final things you'd like to add to your community or to anyone?
I would like to talk a little bit about the Noun Square and Yellow Collective.
Let's do it
I honestly feel like we could go in a whole nother episode. We could definitely go in a whole nother episode
for
about
sure.
the Yellow Collective and the Noun Square. But I just want to, I think sometimes people might get a little confused about who I am. Everything I do is I do only things that I believe in. And so, the Shaka I really believed in. But the other thing I really believe in is nouns. And I really think it's one of the coolest and uh, things you could do in crypto. Like I just think the experiment is worth having and I want to be a part of it. And even though I don't own a noun, I've been active in nouns for 2 years now and that's the cool thing about them. There's so many avenues. It's a little confusing for people who
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
new
Why
to
don't
it.
you explain kind of like what nouns stands for, and what's about?
So I guess it's hard to even explain what noun stands for. Nouns is an experiment. It's a daily auction that happens. It's a the person, place, or thing, and it is a DAO set up to fund cool things, and it is a CC0 experiment. So anybody can be a noun. Anybody that you probably know them from Noggles. So like Noggles is what you would know from nouns. Nouns is there. It's just a community owned and driven DAO that really the goal is to just do is the coolest stuff they can possibly do, and through that, the goal is to grow and to spread. But it's all about public goods as well. It's about doing good things, not just like for monetary gain or for. It's about being a positive influence in the world, and I think the core belief is that you grow from that. You grow from being a good person. Grow from being a somebody who's trying to shine a light. And it's been a crazy ride, and there's a lot of ups and downs to nouns. But uh, one place that I found a home in is the Noun Square, and we basically do educational content. We do coverage of a lot of different things. We partner up with, just go check out the Noun Square. We've got Toady Hawk, who, if you don't know Toady Hawk, he is an incredible creator within the space and leader. he has the podcast, which you should definitely try to get Toady on one
Uh,
day. And
Love to. He does the
it's
Snapchat or he does the TikTok too, right?
Yeah, so we do the TikTok. We started doing TikTok now, as well. We've actually had a couple of big TikToks pop off, but yeah, we do educational content. We try to post everywhere, and it's almost like I feel like I'm not doing a good job explaining it because there's so many facets. But the
No, you're
Noun
doing great,
Square
bro.
is
You're doing
just
good.
trying to be everywhere and trying to be extremely helpful. And it was people like Toady and the rest of the Noun Square community who allowed me to even understand nouns. That's why I wanted to work with them, and that's why I wanted to be a part of it, is because it is a little hard at first. So the best thing you can do is find a really nice community that will help you and guide you in the way through nouns, and show you all the different avenues you have, show you all the ways that you can participate or be active. One of them right now, if you're an artist, it's huge. It's Yellow Collective. I strongly suggest checking that out. And I know we don't have very much time, so I don't want to go too much into it, but I go look up the Noun Square and go look up Yellow Collective, and the people there will be extremely helpful if you have any interest in getting into nouns or starting to learn more about DAOs and community funded projects and public goods.
And we'll make sure to, if you're looking at this on Spotify, please come to the YouTube page. On the YouTube page, we are going to put all the links to Noun Square, the Yellow Collective, Jack's info, and obviously Shaka. And you'll
Yeah.
find all the links there. And so easily click so you can start your process, your journey of learning. And obviously, we'll put our Twitter, late night on base info as well. And please, again, follow and subscribe if you haven't already so we can produce more content. Yeah, Jack, I mean, honestly, I really enjoyed this conversation, man. And I think August, count me in, and we
Let's
can maybe do a
go.
follow-up episode.
You. Yeah, that would be
Sh
awesome, man. Hey, I
Shaka,
really appreciate you. Yeah, the
am I
Shaka.
doing
That's
this right?
Yeah, yeah, pinky and thumb, pinky and thumb. And then you
Let's
got to give it a
go.
little shake. And then the a custom way, the you.
Yep,
Go do that
yep.
little thing. You. Yep. There you go. You got it.
Uh,
See, you're part of the gang now.
I
Well,
guess
not
I
gang.
guess I'm a part of the Shaka community now.
Yeah,
But
that's right.
Jack, appreciate you, man. Have
Hey,
a good
thank
one.
you.